And then next up, it's the character list. So, this isn't all of them, but this is a good chunk of characters. Alright, you do realize that you saying Ginny on the bottom now sounds very suggestive, right? Like, hella suggestive. And if you didn't know, now you know. So aggressive, like, fuck Ginny. Now acid. Alright, well, we're gonna go in order. No. Step 1, Hermione is legendary. Yes, queen. Sorry. So, Harry gets to hang out here. I don't have any qualms with Harry. I just don't think he's legendary status. Like, he dope as fuck. No, Sid. So the Dursleys first. No, so we're going. Yeah, it's the trio, the Weasleys, the teachers. It's a mishmash. Oh, I can do order we meet them in. Yeah, do initial like thoughts and feelings. Hold up. Boop. So for technically we meet Dumbledore first. Let me find Dumbledore. Okay, all right. He's the worst. Let me explain why. Dumbledore, this bitch. He's like, okay. Yeah, we're doing movies. Yeah, we don't have a lot of characters here, dude. If we're going Okay, movie-wise, we will go with who we are introduced to first. Movie-wise. Yes, it is Dumbledore. I had to like you saw me like calculate in my brain. Yeah, Dumbledore. Dumbledore is the worst. He let Harry be raised as a lamb to be slaughtered. What else did he do? He basically was like, okay, so Hogwarts is safe, but not actually safe. Yeah, the fact that he probably killed his sister. Can we talk about that one? The secret of Dumbledore is probably that he's the reason why his sister died, which makes so much sense, and is like, all right, that's cool. So we've discussed why he is the worst. Fuck this guy. Fuck Dumbledore. I'm sure he had his great moments. Also, the fact that he talked in riddles all the time. Like, all the time. Just give us a straight answer, dude. Like, if you're going to send this literal teenager off to basically, fight Satan, I guess. I don't really know what Voldemort, the devil. We'll call Voldemort the devil. Or, yeah, we'll do that. All riddles. No help. Absolutely nothing. And then he dies. Here, let me tell you everything, but I don't know where the things are that you need to get. So I will not tell you that, but I will leave you riddles. McGonagall. I refer to her fighting Snape. That is all. McGonagall is a badass bitch. That's it. That's all I need to say. Okay, so after we meet McGonagall, we meet Hagrid. He's legendary. I give Hagrid legendary status. It's not just because of PS1 Hagrid. It is because Hagrid is wholesome, and he just wants Harry and them to be okay. He just wants them to be okay. He loves them kids. What up, Rista? How's it going? Oh, Hagrid. Yeah, of course Hagrid's kind of problematic. Like, I don't disagree with that. But no. Oh, you would put him lower. He puts the gang in danger so fucking... Okay, but he doesn't mean to put them in danger. He's just like, hey, so, like... I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. That's Hagrid. I stick by keeping him as a legendary status, also because PS1 Hagrid. PS1 Hagrid rules all. Okay, so after we see Hagrid, we see Harry. Harry is next. Okay, so after we get Harry, Harry gets to hang out here. You know what? You're right. I'll move Hagrid into interest peaked. No, what? What are you knowing? Because he's Harry Potter. Okay, all right. Argue with me why Harry isn't legendary. All right. I will fix this. Interest peaked because it is the name. The series is named after him. Oh my god, he's the chosen one. Yes. He has to be a little bland as the viewpoint character. Yeah. Oh no, I'm now realizing that oh my god, he's the chosen one was oh my god, he's the chosen one. He has to be great. Okay, all right. I'm picking what you're putting down. Okay, so we'll keep him at interest peaked because it's a book series literally about him. I do agree with Neville being up there because the prophecy is about him and it could have been about him. After we meet Harry, we see Aunt Petunia. I put Aunt Petunia under whom? Here's why I put Petunia here. There is a deleted scene within that they never show that's actually in the book, and it's Petunia talking to Harry as it's in Deathly Hallows, and it's Petunia talking to Harry, and she's standing there, and she's like, oh, you know what? Here, let me just pull it up. Let me pull it up. This one, yeah. So this is a deleted scene. And this is why, because we actually see this in the books.
I have lived in this house for 20 years. And now in a single night, I'm expected to leave.
They'll torture you. If they think for a moment you know where I'm going, they'll stop at nothing.
I don't know what they're capable.
So it's this part right here, and she's just very serious and very knowing, and it's very telling about how Petunia is in regards to her nephew and her sister, even if, she hated Lily for X amount of years for having magic. There's like a theory that Petunia was jealous that Lily got magic and she didn't. And trying to desire to become a witch. Yeah, so like... Okay, it's just this. It's this line.
Do you think I don't know what they're capable of? You didn't just lose a mother that night in Godric's Hollow, you know. I lost a sister.
And it's just like... That moment is so telling. Because there's points in the book where Vernon wants to throw Harry out, but Petunia keeps letting Harry stay. It's a deleted scene, so you probably watched the extended cut, which I do need to get the extended cut of all the movies. Yeah, that wasn't in the theatrical version. I mean, yeah, it does kind of adamant denial of it when she got older. Yeah, so like I think Petunia belongs in that middle ground for that reason alone, and I think it's dope. Oh no! Deserved better. There we go. That's it. Deserved better. If anything, she'd blame her parents and was jealous well before Harry was around. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, technically it is his fault that Lily's dead, but it's more so like, I'm pretty sure Petunia feels guilt for not spending time with her sister afterwards and getting to, like, properly know Harry and all that shit, but you just, it just festers. Okay, so after Petunia, who do we see? We see Uncle Vernon and Dudley. I don't like deserve better. Could have been good. Okay, yeah. Vernon kind of falls in line with Petunia, and here's why. Because again, it's a book thing. Vernon was an S-class cunt. Wasted potential. Thank you. Wasted potential. All right. Okay. Yeah. No. So Vernon gets to hang out in the worst because so in the books you get to read. No, I know I've changed it. I'm not being lenient for him. Just fine. Smiley face. Wasted potential equals the normal human characters. No. I don't think Vernon needed death, and here's why. So there's a point in the books where he's about to throw out Harry. Petunia gets a howler from Dumbledore. Howler shouts at Petunia, and she tells Vernon, no, he stays. And Vernon, although he is the worst, and this is why he doesn't need to die, should die, is although he's the worst, he takes all of the anger and frustration that he has bottled up towards Harry, clamps it down, and respects his wife's wishes. And I think that's dope because him and his wife, like him and Petunia, they'll have disagreements, but they'll be able to, yeah, it's like they've got a good balance. At least in the movie, he started to lighten up on Harry as Harry got older. Yeah, it's not as bad. I can't put him under please die. I can't put him as please die because he already dies. Should have died sooner. Yeah, he did lock a kid under the stairs. That's true. I don't know. He has redemptions. At least in the movie he started. Okay, so after them, we get Dudley. Dudley is also the worst. But he kind of gets thrown up into... He's like in this middle ground between wasted potential. Can I like middle ground it? I cannot. How do I... Well, that's dumb. He's like in between. Dudley's like wasted potential, but also the worst. So I'll keep him in the worst because he kind of falls in line more with his dad. So here's the thing with Dudley and as to why I feel like he could be wasted potential. And it's the exact same thing as with Petunia. Because there is a deleted scene which is in the book. And as they're getting packed up into the car, he turns and looks to Harry and is like, why isn't he coming? Like, he asks why Harry is not going with them. And so Vernon this is the deleted scene dialogue, but Vernon's like, there's not enough space. You know, he's a waste of space, no reason. And Dudley walks up to Harry and it says, I don't think you're a waste of space, shakes his hand, and then goes off and leaves with his parents. So, like, that's why Dudley gets to hang out there. Okay, so I'm trying, like, the fact that we're doing this by order of when we first get introduced to them, I'm struggling. Okay, so after them, it's Ollivander? Okay, we're just gonna do this in order. Fuck it. We're going in order of the thing. Hermione gets to hang out with legendary status because she is my favorite character. Hands down, don't care. Best waifu. Yeah, but not all of those people are here. Like, where is Tom? Quirrell? The fuck is Quirrell? Okay, Luminar... Stan. Quirrell. Okay, alright. I found Quirrell. Quirrell. Please die. That's it. Without her, the other two wouldn't have. Yeah, no. Okay, all right. Yeah. We're I'm just gonna go in order. It's gonna be easier on my brain this way. But Quirrell can just die. Fuck that guy. Hermione gets legendary status because not only is she my favorite character, but yeah, no, Rista is correct. They probably would have died. Not yet. Not yet. Look, I would be too biased if I put Hermione into godlike. Like, you can't. Like, I need to be kind of unbiased here, but the bias is just like, no, Hermione is also godlike. Oh, okay. No one else is allowed in godlike. It's just McGonagall. That's fair. Ron has wasted potential. As much as I shit all over Ron, he deserved a bit better. There was more that they could have done with his character in the movies, and in general, instead of just being background character to the Chosen One. Also, he could have been less of a fucking douchebag. Yeah, exactly. He's like the nerdy kid that's suddenly athletic. Hold up. I realize that the more you tell me to put Ginny in Please Die, the longer, like, the less I'll put her in there. So I don't think Ginny deserves to die. I don't think she deserves to die. Ginny's aight. I do agree with that. Yeah, I was like, interest peaked or wasted potential. But she also falls into wasted potential with Ron. Because, like, in the films and kind of in the books, she just gets sidelined to fangirl that gets the guy that she's fangirling about. Yay. Again, I mean, she's in the bottom. Yeah, just he'll notice me eventually. It's fine. It's fine. We started dating and then he broke up with me and ran off on this fucking adventure with his two best friends, one of which is my brother, and then was like, LOL, bye, Ginny. I can't be with you. I can't be with you because I'm a danger to you because of the war going on. Ginny, I can't. Yeah, no, the twins get interest peaked. I love them. They are great as humor. But the fact that one of them dies and the other loses an ear is very sad and upsetting. Not cool, Rowling. You could have easily just let both of them live. But no! We just had to kill a bunch of people in Deathly Hallows. That's fine. Yeah, no, agreed. Yeah, the actors that they got to play Fred and George, 10 out of 10. Percy is the worst. You don't see a lot of him in the movies, but he's an absolute fucking prick in the books. He abandons his family, basically, while working for the Ministry, and when everything comes out about Voldemort, he's still fucking douchebag, and he gets his redemption during the Battle of Hogwarts, where him and George, one of the twins dies, and he just like breaks down and whatever. So yeah, he's the worst. He's just an absolute asshole. Like, fuck Percy. I think Bill Weasley is interest peaked. There's a lot that you don't really get to find out about him, but he's also like my favorite Weasley brother outside of the twins, because you actually get to see him. Like, unlike Charlie Weasley, we never get to see him. I'm sorry, are you saying Bill is legendary? Okay, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, he did fight a werewolf and survive. He's also the only Weasley brother that we actually see outside. That, like, Charlie is the only Weasley brother we never see in the movies. Ron and Ginny, the failures of the Weasley family. Yes, he did get Fleur Delacour, and Fleur will be wasted potential. Molly Weasley. Okay, so here's the thing. Mrs. Weasley, she can touch here. She took out Bellatrix Lestrange and was like, "Not my daughter, you bitch!" And then fucking took out Voldemort's right hand. Okay, good. I was gonna fight if none of you agreed with that. I love how it's all like the little old ladies up in godlike. Mr. Weasley, I also want to say, wasted potential. I want to say he's wasted potential because we don't really get to see a lot about him and how he is with muggles in the films. But he could have had more outside of, getting fucked up by Nagini and almost dying. Yeah. Mr. Weasley was like the coolest dad out of the lot. Okay, so Snape gets to go here. Snape is interest peaked because there is so much that we don't know about him. You wanted to. All right, explain legendary for Snape. Yeah, okay, all right. I can agree with Mr. Weasley going into interest is peaked. Yeah, his magical muggle items. Yeah, there's quite a few that you don't get to see that you read about in the books. Okay, so Snape, I'm torn between interest peaked and legendary status. And here's the thing. My interest is peaked with Snape because there's a lot that you don't really know about him, and there's a lot that ends up being implied through the rest of the characters, right? So what's his connection to Lily, and why is his Patronus the same as hers? I think it's because it's true love, but that's just me. Why and how was he able to play Voldemort for so many, like play both sides of the war for so many years? Did he truly care for Harry? Was he always trying to help Harry, or was it hatred in the beginning? And yeah, like that's why it's like interest peaked and he's not yet legendary status. Like I understand that it's like, take my tears, watch my memories. Like the first time I watched that whole scene, I legit teared up. Oh, him breaking down and like showing the like us seeing Snape go. Yeah, okay, no. I'm tearing up just thinking about it. So you're right. I think he was a good villain. That's it. That's all I've got for Voldemort. Voldemort was an awful person, awful wizard. Only cared about power, and he did terrible, terrible things. Yeah, he also gets legendary status out of respect for Alan Rickman. Such a good portrayal. Yeah, Voldemort gets to hang out in an interest peak because he's an alright villain. Although his I really wish we got to know more in a way about him in regards to like backstory and such. I mean you do, but it just didn't feel like enough, I mean that's fair. I don't know. He was like this dark looming shadow for 3 3/4 movies, and then we finally get him, and the interest is there and being like, well, who is this big bad dude, and why does he keep coming back, and how does he keep coming back? And I mean, yeah, his goals are fairly standard-esque villain shit, but I mean, I could probably put him down into the worst purely because of being a villain, but he'd be like in the top. I mean, by proxy, he would need to go, and you know what? We'll put him here. We'll put him in Please Die, because I mean he does anyways. But if anything, wasted potential. Do you think he could have been a better villain if he had a more fleshed out goal? Is that what you're saying? Because I could see that. Yeah. No, I like that. Okay, Sirius Black. My thoughts on Sirius is he's in the interest peaked area versus wasted potential. He is not legendary. No, he's not legendary. He's in these two, and it's because he's here in interest peaked. Yeah, fuck you too, Slughorn. Harry should be here. Kind of like that, Sirius, the twins, Mr. Weasley, Harry. No, Hermione goes here. Yeah. That sounds about right for legendary. I mean, Madman Godfather best, but he just kind of existed. Neville gets to hang out in legendary status because he takes out Nagini. I'm sorry, are you saying that Sirius Black gets to be an interest peak because his animagus is a dog? I like the Umbridge. Death upon her. I can't really say much more about Neville outside of Neville being Neville. Like, he killed Nagini. He stood up to his friends. Yeah, the Black family would have been a better villain than Voldemort. Just Bellatrix Lestrange, who is actually a Black. Oh, Umbridge. Yeah, Umbridge. Fuck that woman. She is the worst. Like, she is in... It's like... there's one of those, like, collages where it's like... Sometimes, and each like square where the word is a different thing. Like, sometimes the villain's really sometimes you have to love a villain, not you, and it's Umbridge there to hate, to really, like, sometimes you have to hate a villain or whatever to blah blah. Yeah, like, you get the most hateful reaction out of Umbridge, and it's just because she really believes, like, the actress that plays Umbridge sells it. And I mean, it's not even just the way that you read how Umbridge is in the book, so you already fucking hate her by the time that this lady comes around to be the actress for her. So it's just one of those, like, God, fuck that woman in pink. She is the worst. Like, I didn't know you could make cockroaches humanoid, but that's what Umbridge is. Mad-Eye Moody is wasted potential, purely because the longest time we get to see him for... It's not even Mad-Eye Moody. It's just Barty Crouch Jr. Cornelius Fudge definitely needs to die. The worst minister. Literally listened to no one. Why is Quirrell there? Because Quirrell's a dick. Like the whole stuttering act, that's what it is. It's just an act. Like, he's just a bad character. Okay, so Quirrell can get moved to the worst. But we'll put him before Vernon, and we'll move Dumbledore. Dumbledore is actually worse than those two. Wormtail, please die. He's literally the reason why Harry's parents are dead. Okay, all right. We can move Sirius into interest peaked, and we will put him after Hermione. And to be honest, it kind of goes this way. So we're gonna speed through a lot of these lesser cared about characters. Dobby is interest peaked because Dobby really cares for Harry. Malfoy, I want to say Malfoy is interest peaked as well, because he's a good high school bully. He's really good at that, like being the school bully. Luna belongs with Hermione. Slughorn. I don't know. Slughorn kind of falls into the worst category because of how he reacts to Ron. Ron and his potion and being poisoned and everything. Like, Slughorn is the worst. He's self-serving. I don't like him. I don't know. Bad taste in my mouth. Luna goes right next to Hermione. Best girl. The two best waifus. Cedric Diggory, I want to say wasted potential, purely just because he, like, the moment that you start learning about him, he dies. Creature, I want to say wasted potential on Creature. He deserved better, in regards to the films. And in the movies, he kind of has... in the films. And then in the books, he's kind of got, like, this little redemption arc. Yeah, the Creature was a dick in the films. Like, you only really see, like, the film side of him. Whereas in the books, Creature, like, during Deathly Hallows, he's helping Harry, Ron, and Hermione. He's starting to be nicer to Hermione and Ron. And he's not as much of a douchebag to Harry because when they get... the locket, the replicate locket, Salazar's locket, like that one, the replica of it, they give it to Creature. And he's like, oh, hell yeah, nice. Thank you. And then he's, like, super indebted to Harry afterwards. Barty Crouch Sr., the worst. I mean, there are, like... a number of things wrong with this gentleman. Filch is the worst. I refer back to the line that he says during the walking them to the Forbidden Forest about hanging children by their toenails and missing the screams. Crumb is wasted potential. He gets a little bit more in the books, but I feel like he's more than just Bulgarian seeker. Professor Trelawney, interest peaked. I'm kind of curious about her. Ma'am, why are you like this? How did you get into divination? How many prophecies do you pump out yearly? And I have so many questions. One of the top teams in the world. I mean, yeah, I like, that's why he's in like the low end of wasted potential. Cause he probably could have been better. Now that I think about it, we're gonna put Voldemort. We're gonna put Voldemort next to Dumbledore. That's where he belongs. He is the worst. I don't know how many people actually like Lockhart, but this is how I feel about him. I don't like Lockhart. Lockhart is a liar, a cheat, and he almost had Harry killed, and Ginny, and Ron. And he's a scumbag, so he deserves to die. Fuck that guy. The one thing I do wish that we got in regards to Lockhart, in the movies at least, is seeing him in St. Mungo's. Because in Order of the Phoenix, when they go to see Mr. Weasley at St. Mungo's, they run into Lockhart. He's walked out of the mental wing, and he's like, "Oh, hello, would you like an autograph?" And he just starts signing autographs for them. Fleur, much like Crumb, goes here, but she gets to come hang out next to Ginny because I really liked her character. I think Fleur deserved better. And she did. She got better. She got Bill, and it's very beautiful. I actually enjoy that ship. I'm fine with it. Lucius Malfoy ends up in the worst. He's a Death Eater, man. Tonks is wasted potential. She deserved much better. She gets to hang out over here. She can hang out with Tonks, with Fleur. So, like, we don't get to see a lot about Tonks, and I kind of wish we did, because seeing more of her interact with Harry and the gang in the movies is super cool. And I just don't think her and Lupin deserve to die. Honestly, Goyle deserves to die. Goyle was a piece of shit. He's the reason why Fiend Fire happens in the Room of Requirement. Crabbe can hang out here, because he's not as bad, and he dies, actually. He ends up dying, so he can have a little he's just the worst. Goyle died by his own hand. Crabbe lives, if I remember correctly. You are absolutely correct. She gets to come hang out right here. I really enjoy Bellatrix. Bellatrix is such a good character. Like, by far one of my most favorite Death Eaters. I mean, if you throwing out Goth Mommy, we just gotta... Bellatrix Lestrange gets... she's absolutely terrifying. She also gets a 1-up because Helena Bonham Carter is excellent in this role as Bellatrix Lestrange. I fucking love it. It's so good. Oops. Too late. Oops. All crazy. I feel like Cho Chang was wasted potential. I'll throw her there. She can hang out here. She was wasted potential along with Cedric. Like, there's a lot that you don't really get to hear about and revolve with them. Dean Thomas. I don't remember much about Dean Thomas. See, now I'm curious, so I want to put him in interest peaked, but I think he's in wasted potential. There are a lot of wasted potential characters. Oliver Wood, he gets to hang out in the worst. All this motherfucker cared about was Quidditch. That's it. That's all he cared about, Quidditch. Oh no. How do we deal with Harry's parents? Shit. Yeah, he was with Ginny briefly. Yeah, he ended up dating Ginny, and apparently he was not a good match for her. I really don't know where to put his parents. So, like, I'll put them in interest peaked. Lily and James can hang out in interest peaked. Rita Skeeter, on the other hand, can die. No, fuck. So this was pre-made. I didn't make this. Just as a heads up, I did not make this at all. I just pulled one. Yeah, I just pulled one from the tier list, from tier list maker. I went and Google searched it, and I was like, okay, this one works. It has all the characters that I would like to talk about. Seamus Finnegan, interest peaked. Seamus is hilarious. Like, why does he blow everything up? Oh, because his name is named after someone. Because it's Seamus Finnegan. So, interest peak purely because I now understand what his name means. Kakarot, the worst. He's a Death Eater. We don't really know too much about him. We're gonna put Madame Pomfrey, up here. Madame Pomfrey, fucking one woman medical staff for the entirety of Hogwarts. Like, if she doesn't get some sort of legendary status for that, I don't know who deserves it. Like, Madame Pomfrey gets to hang out next to Snape. She deserves that legendary status. Scrimmer, please die. He's a douchebag. Mundungus, the worst. Lavender Brown, the worst. Flitwick, interest peaked. And it's only because Warwick Davis does such a good job at playing Flitwick in both the awful outfit that he has to wear in the first film and bowler hat part Flitwick. Yeah, Griphook can motherfucking die. Fuck that guy. Angelina Johnson, wasted potential. Pavarti Patil, wasted potential. Moaning Myrtle, kind of the worst. Moaning Myrtle is interest peaked, to be honest, because I'm so curious about what happened to her to cause this to happen. Like, why is she so whiny? Why is she so bitchy? Why does she decide to hang out in the U-bend of the girls' toilet? Ollivander is legendary status. Ollivander gets to hang out here. And here's why. Because I really don't remember a lot about him, but I do know that he's a badass bitch. Katie Bell, interest. Just to keep with the beam, interest peaked. I am so curious to know more about Katie Bell. Ollivander gets to hang out in legendary status, but no, he's not godlike. He's not godlike. Katie Bell gets to hang out in interest peaked. Yeah. Katie Bell got touched a cursed necklace and survived. Also a Quidditch seeker. I mean, Gryffindor chaser. Wrong thing. Madame Maxine. I want to say she also falls into wasted potential because you literally learn not a lot about her. She's just a love interest for Hagrid. Just a love interest for Hagrid. Oh, put him with Hagrid. Okay. Poop. Snape and the nurse. Okay. All right. Perfect. Lee Jordan, interest peaked. Because I'm so curious about what happened to Lee Jordan afterwards and like how he got this job at like being the announcer for Quidditch games. I'm so curious. Kingsley Shacklebolt. I'm gonna say interest peak, but I'm gonna move Lee Jordan to wasted potential because we don't really get to see too much about him after he leaves Hogwarts. Shacklebolt, interest peaked because he ends up being the interim minister of magic once they get the ministry back from the Death Eaters. Fenrir Greyback, absolutely the worst, and I find it humorous that I put him beside Lavender Brown because he is the one that kills Lavender Brown. Professor Sprout, interest peaked. I just think she's fucking hilarious. Narcissa Malfoy, this is just me being trash, but she also gets to hang out in legendary status with her sister, because this bitch lied to Voldemort. She was like, he's dead, knowing full fucking well that Harry was alive. So yeah, Narcissa gets to be a legend. Yes, queen. Go for it. and she did it all to make sure that her family was safe. It may have been selfish, but she is still fucking legendary for it. Kingsley Shackle. No. This is Stan Shunpike. He's kind of the worst. He does a lot of absolutely terrible, awful shit. Maternal instinct. You are correct. Sorry, maternal instinct. Aberforth goes into interest peaked. I want to know more about Aberforth. If you're going to give us a Secrets of Dumbledore movie, give us more on Aberforth. Give us more on on their sister. Give us more as to how the fuck Credence is a Dumbledore, please and thank you. Colin Creevey, I think, was wasted potential. He could have been more than a fanboy. He kind of falls in the same vein as Ginny, where he was the boy version of Ginny. Just absolutely enamored with Harry, wanted to, be all up in his business and shit. Bathilda Bagshot, I don't really know. I feel like we could have learned more about her before her death, outside of the fact that she is the author for A History of Magic, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, they could have made wizard photography way cooler than we got. Mr. Diggory can go into wasted potential next to his son. Marge Dursley is the worst. So she can die. Like, fuck this. Absolute awful. 10 out of 10, the worst. Is it just me, or I really love the fat lady. I was gonna put her into godlike, but the fat lady is fucking hilarious. She adds like that bit of humor into the thing, into the show. Books series. I can't talk. I've been talking for like 2 hours. So yeah. That's how I feel about life. Well, actually, no. We'll put her in interest peaked. She can hang out here. Pansy Parkinson is the worst. She's the girl that does the, well, he's right there, turn him in, and causes all the Slytherins to get sent away. And then Lupin. To be honest, I think Lupin gets to hang out here. Lupin gets to hang out in legendary status. And it's not just because he's a werewolf. It's because he is the only defense against the dark arts teacher that was stable and taught them something and wasn't trying to kill Harry. I don't even like the way Lupin looks as a werewolf. I think the werewolf in the Harry Potter series is awful. I don't like how it looks. It's gross. Okay, alright, so, only two can be godlike, and that is McGonagall and Mrs. Weasley. Our legendary status, consists of Snape. Sorry, I'm gonna have to go water and run to the restroom after this. Snape, Madame Pomfrey, Ollivander, Best Girl Hermione, Best Girl Luna, Bellatrix, Narcissa, Hagrid, Sirius, Bill, Neville, and Lupin. I'm not going to go through all these names. Interest piqued. Fred George, Arthur, Harry Dobby, Malfoy, Trelawney, James and Lily, Seamus, Flitwick. Yeah. I would run through all of this, but now as I'm running through it, I'm like, wow, this is really boring. You guys know what we've done. You've been here for the last 2 hours. See y'all in the next one. Bye.